Rabotai, tonight we have to understand this week there's two Parashiot. There's Acharei and Kedoshim. We're going to say one derush, a quick derush on Acharei and a quick derush on Parashat Kedoshim. Now before that, the shiur is dedicated to Nishmat Chana Bat Simcha Refuah Shlema Chanina Margalit Bat Chatun Malka. Okay, it's very simple. We're going to have a pasuk that I will read in Acharei. It says, "Vayomer Adonai Moshe, daber el Aaron achicha, va'al yavo bechol et el hakodesh mibed leparochet." What is it saying? Again, could somebody with these words give me the question on this pasuk? Again, it's Parashat Acharei, it's pasuk bet. It says, please explain me what's the obvious question. It says, "Vayomer Adonai el Moshe, daber el Aaron achicha, va'al yavo bechol et el hakodesh." What's the obvious question? No, come on. Guys, come on. It says again, "Vayomer Hashem Moshe, daber el Aaron achicha." It says, go speak to Aaron, your brother. Hashem tells Moshe, go speak to Aaron, your brother, and tell him, al yavo bechol et hakodesh. You can't just come anytime you want to the Kodesh Kodashim. What's the obvious question? I'll repeat it again. Guys, please use your brains for 30 seconds. Not legit for 2 seconds. Okay? Think. Again, it says, "Vayomer Hashem Moshe." Hashem tells Moshe, "Daber el Aaron achicha." Go tell your brother Aaron. Va'al yavo bechol et el hakodesh. The halakha says you can't come to the Kodesh Kodashim anytime you want. No, Rabotai. You know what the question is? Nobody got it.
Why your brother?
Yeah, Asha? Yeah, Asha, Azaku Baruch. Asha, Azaku Baruch. I'm going to clap for that. Like this. I'm going to clap for him. Because he got it. He says, because it looks, think about it. Hashem tells Moshe, tell your brother Aharon. Who is going to the Kodesh Kodashim? Who is it? Aharon, who? His brother. Is there any extra word in the entire Torah? There's not one extra word. So why are you saying over here, by the way, go tell your brother Aharon? Which other Aharon is there? Which other Aharon is there that goes into the Kodesh Kodashim? Yeah. It's a solid question. Eddie, you got it, Eddie, or no? Seriously, it's a solid question. I'm surprised you didn't get it. I'm surprised you didn't get it right away. Okay, Pashut Pshat. Now it's Pashut Pshat, right? Pashut Pshat, yeah? Okay, so it says like this. What's the Pshat? So I'll explain to you. Rabotai. And the answer to this question is, a person in life, he has to have a sense of sensitivity. Can you start that, please? A person in life has to have a sensitivity amongst others, right? You can't just live life and not care for other people or have a sensitivity for other people like this. If you think about it, imagine now Moshe goes to Aaron and tells Aaron, oh, by the way, Hashem told me that you can't come anytime to the Kodesh Kodashim. How would Aaron feel? Leo, how would Aaron feel? Again, imagine right now, Hashem is telling Moshe goes to Aaron, I'm sorry, Hashem said you can't come anytime. How is Aaron feeling? Bad, he feels bad. What did I do wrong? Something I did wrong? But now the Torah itself is testifying and saying, look how much Hashem is saying, I care about you, Aaron. And I'm writing in the Torah, Daber el Aaron achicha. I'm specifically saying Aaron achicha. Why am I specifically saying Aaron achicha? Is because it's to tell you that I'm not telling you not to come to the Kodesh Kodashim because you did something wrong. I'm telling you can't come to the Kodesh Kodashim because the Makom is so kadosh that you can't just come anytime you want. And therefore I'm telling you that your Aaron, your brother, meaning to say, just like Moshe, the greatness of Moshe was always so great, you too, you're the brother of Moshe. You're the brother of Moshe at the same level as I love him, I love you. And therefore, don't take offense to what I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the fact that Kodesh Kodashim is so holy that I can't have you just walk in anytime just like that. And therefore, in order to show Aaron that, he just doesn't say you can't come to the Kodesh Kodashim. No, he says, Aaron, go tell Moshe, Aaron, your brother. Now what does Moshe do? He goes to Aaron and he says, by the way, Hashem called you Aaron, my brother. Why did Hashem do that? Because you're with me, you're my brother, and we're together on this, and it has no effect on you. The reason why you're not coming in is not because you did something wrong. You did nothing wrong. It's because you're my brother in the same level in that situation. It's what? It is more because the Kodesh is not, you can't just come anytime you want. You hear that sensitivity? Sometimes in life, a person has to understand how to talk to people. Sometimes, I'll give you an example. A lot of times with a phone call, what happens? You see somebody calling, all right? You reject the call. You'll reject the call. And don't think the other person doesn't know that you rejected the call. You called, right? Freddie's the biggest witness. He knows exactly when you call and you press. You know what I'm talking about or no? You press the red. You know the red or no? You press off. You press N. So what happens is people might get offended. Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing? Or you can tell a person, listen, take no offense, and this, that, I had this, I had that. Why? As a sensitivity. And therefore, in life, the Torah is teaching us that if you're going to tell somebody where he might take offense, you can tell him, by the way, please just know, it has nothing to do with you, it has to do with this. And that's why in the Pasuk, it doesn't say Daber el Aharon. We know which Aharon it is. It's Aharon, obviously it's Aharon, the brother of Moshe. There's no extra words. It's telling Aharon, don't take offense that I'm telling you can't come to the Kodesh. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the holiness of the Kodesh. And that's why he specifically says, Aharon Achicha. Why does he say Achicha? Because you're my brother, the same, meaning to say, we're together in this. Don't take offense in it. You're still my brother. We have the greatness together. We're building together. There's one of the answers that's given, as well as another one. So that's the first one. Good? And I like to read it to you. Right? So he says, Yesh Lomar, this is Rav Shmuel Berman I'm talking, please listen. Since he's saying, don't come to the Kodesh Kodashim, Aaron, what is he thinking? Maybe Hashem doesn't want me to come in. Why does he tell me I can't come anytime I want? Right? Now he says, Adrabah. He writes, Halashon Achicha. There's nothing wrong with you, Aaron. Your dargah, your level is like the madrigah of the brother of Moshe Rabbeinu. So to you, just like your brother was Ne'eman with Moshe, so to you. You also. And therefore he's saying, it says, I'm doing that not to make you see the sensitivity of telling somebody how you have to always be careful. What did I do wrong? Sometimes I didn't do anything wrong. A lot of times people don't realize, what did I do wrong? You didn't do nothing wrong. So why didn't you invite me? And to tell them. Good? Is that clear? Good. Now, that's the first one. Second answer is like this. Second answer, why did it say Achicha? Because this is telling us a way, in general, to give a let's say, a tochacha. If your person has to say something to somebody else to rebuke him, you have to know when it comes out of love, then the person feels it, and he will listen even more. You heard? You heard what I'm saying? It comes out of love. And by the way, there's a very interesting story that I know. One of my cousins, I was sitting there once in a birthday. They had like a Sunday birthday party for one of my uncles, and one of my cousins on the side got shambled by his older brother. What are you doing? And I saw it. It was on the side. Nobody saw, but I saw it. And I went to him. I said, you just got shambled from your older brother, and you took it like a champ. You have such good midot, I told him. You have such good character traits. You have such midot tovot, I tell him. He said, no, I don't. I was like, what do you mean? You do. You took it like a champ. If it was anybody else starting screaming, yelling, he says, no, nobody would scream or yelled at him. I said, why? He said, because I know my brother my whole life. And my whole life, he always has my back. He always has me understanding that he's not telling me or rebuking me for any reasons besides for making me better. Yeah? And therefore, when he does rebuke me, it's not because he's rebuking me for any ulterior motives that he has. It's only because he loves me so much that he wants my improvement. And therefore, he's rebuking me. And therefore, I'm not upset at all. And that's exactly why the Pasuk is saying, Daber el Aharon achicha. When you're speaking to Aharon now, and you're telling him that you can't come into the Kodesh Kodashim, don't just tell him. Tell him in a way that mamash like is your own brother. That's how you should tell him. So therefore, which is your brother, but tell him in a loving manner, and which Moshe wasn't going to do anyway. But now he's trying to tell you how to rebuke a person through showing him that you really, really love him. And I'm reading to you. Yesh lomar od, another answer. Kevan shayam medaber el Aaron belashon ha'azhara chamura. It's a very strong halacha. By the way, you can't come just like that. And therefore he writes, what he says it in a way, belashon ahava v'kirva el Aharon achicha. Go tell Aaron your brother, kedei shiknesu divrei azharato lelev Aaron. In order so it should go in the ears of Aaron. She'agish Moshe Rabbeinu mechuvan rak tovato. So Moshe Rabbeinu so he could feel that Moshe Rabbeinu is doing it only for his good. Yeah. I always tell you the story in Mikdash. I love it like a passion, and it's so awesome. And I'll hear it again and again. But listen to me carefully. There was a fellow back in the day. If, let's say, for example, actually, you know the story already. I'm not repeating that. Repeat it? Okay, I'll repeat it. Yeah, it's like this. Everybody knows. By us, let's say Kriyat Shema was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we had a guy there making sure that one of the guys was making sure that every single morning, if let's say for example 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:10 is the Kriyat Shema, he would knock on every door. Imagine, you're going through maybe 40 rooms. Every door, they knocked on the door and they said, oh, say Kriyat Shema, they knocked on the door, opened the door, say Kriyat Shema. And sometimes there was a person, by accident, they didn't hear the alarm, and therefore they would tell them. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, what happens? This fellow, Jack, please. This fellow that goes around, his parents came from America to visit him. And he said, listen, my parents are taking me out. Tomorrow I won't be in. He says he gave the job to somebody else to go around and to knock on every door. And if, just in case you see a guy there that overslept for some odd reason, his alarm clock didn't wake up, you wake him up and tell him to say Kriyat Shema. Anyway, he went ahead and he took over the job. He came back the next day, 2 days later even. So 2 days later he says, I'm not doing your job anymore. He said, why not? I don't want to do it. He said, why not? He says, there was a guy or two, they threw pillow the way you woke me up. And then I was like, what's the difference when you wake them up? Nobody says a word. And when I wake them up, everybody's hating on me. What happened? Like the two guys that, hey, what happened? What did I do wrong? I said, because you're doing it differently. He says, why? He says to him, because when I was doing it, they felt the love that I had. They felt that I'm only knocking on the door and waking them up just in case they overslept. Really, to make sure you say that you love Hashem, you're the only one in the world at that specific time. And they felt it the way I said it over to them. But by you, on the other hand, you were doing it as what? Come on, guys. What are you doing? You're doing it as a job, or you're doing it because you really care that they should say Kriyat Shema on time, just in case they didn't hear the alarm. What was your intention? My intention, the guy tells him, my intention was, just in case you didn't hear the alarm, I'm doing with all my heart that you should say Hashem is one. But you were doing it, what? You were doing it just to be fulfilling a job. Guys, wake up. What are you doing? Therefore, Abotai, any single time where a person is rebuking somebody, he has to put in that the feeling that you're doing it not only also making sure that he feels you're doing it to help him. And when he feels that you're doing it to help him, he'll take that rebuke much, much more than just saying, what are you doing? A lady, she wants to get sniut. So sometimes her friend say, come on, get sniut already. What are you doing? Da, da, da. You know, and then another lady, she won't listen to that lady. Maybe, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Another lady will come along and say, listen, by the way, I saw how you were tzniut by your sister's wedding or your aunt's wedding. I'm telling you, you look better than not tzniut. I'm telling you, for your own good. For your own good. And Hashem wants you to be tzniut. And Hashem loves it when you're tzniut. It's a whole different level of telling somebody what to do. And therefore, that's what the Torah is telling us. In Parashat Acharei, in the second pasuk, when you read it says, Vaydaber Adonai Moshe, Daber Aaron Achicha. Why does it say, Daber Aaron Achicha? And what does he say? Al Yavo B'chol Kodesh. You can't just come to the Kodesh and enter Yom. Why does it say Aaron Achicha? Obviously, it's Aaron, your brother. The answer is two answers. First answer is that Aaron might get offended and think that what? Hashem, maybe did I do something wrong to Hashem? What's going on? Hashem says, no, you did nothing wrong. Because you're the same brother of Moshe. Just like Moshe Rabbeinu was on a high level, you're his brother on a high level. So therefore, why am I telling you don't come to the Kodesh? Nothing to do with you. I'm showing you nothing to do with you. It has to do with the holiness of the Kodesh Kodashim. It has nothing to do with you. So he felt that's sensitivity. And the second answer we said was, why did he say Achicha? Because he's telling Moshe, when you're actually going to tell Aaron, make sure you do it in such a way that he feels that it's all love. It's all love that you're rebuking him for his own benefit. And when he feels that way, it becomes a whole different way of accepting it. Good? Boys, got that? Clear? Everybody's clear. Now, that was the first inyan of Acharei. Second inyan, I'd like to discuss something really, really fantastic about, if I were to ask you a question, what's worse? A person, what you think is worse? A person that steals or a person that weighs a product and gives you the wrong amount? For example, he weighs, how much is a pound? Oh, $5. And you go there, okay, so let me weigh it. And he changed the scale that when you put it up, it went to 1.5 pounds. You don't know that. But it's really, he switched it. It's stealing. But what was worse? Is it worse to actual steal? Or is it worse to do the opposite? What would you say? So, I want to quote for you did you hear the question or no? I want to quote for you a Rashi. It's a very, very important Rashi. All right? It's in Perek Yutet and Pasuk Lamed Hey. Listen to this fascinating Rashi. Perek Yutet, Pasuk Lamed Hey. Look at this. Look at this for a second. Look at this. This is amazing. It says over here, Lo tasu avel b'mishpat, b'midah, b'mishkal, u'b'mesura. Don't switch the measurements for your own favor. For example, you're weighing something and you switch the scale so it'll weigh more. And therefore, when you're coming to pay for something, it's supposed to be $10, but really it's $20. Why? Because the guy sketched the scale. So I want to read you some very important Rashi over here. And Rashi says over here, he says, Melamed, it's teach us, Shahamoded nikra dayan. When you're weighing something, you're considered a judge. A judge. She'im yeshaker b'midah, if you mess up with the weights, harehu k'makakel tadin, you're messing up the judgment. Ve'karui avel, he's considered crooked. Sanui meshukatz cheres to'eva, abomination, disgusting. Ve'gorem lachamisha devarim, he's gorem 5 things like a dayan. Metamet haaretz, he does chilul Hashem, mesalek et hashekhinah, mapil et Yisrael becherev, u'megolel azam. He says, I understand, Rashi is going to town and he's explaining to us how bad it is. But we don't even say this when a person steals. Did he steal? Yes or no, Lior? Yes. Okay, so we don't say that when a person steals. Why, when it comes to weighing something off and you knew you sketched the scale, why is it saying over here so many things against this person? You hear the question. A stealer, we don't say this about him. But a person that has all these different types of weights, we say that on that person. What's the difference? Anybody want to give me an answer? Chavod? Huh? Good question. Solid question. Tzarich iyun. Lama chamura gdola. Why is it so chamur if a person changes the scale and he's called it a meshukatz? He's gorem 5 things to happen. What's going on? Like why is it so chamur? By a ganav it doesn't say that. By the ganav it doesn't say that. Why didn't it say it by a ganav? A stealer doesn't say that. What's the pshat? You ready for the answer? The answer is like this. The answer is that if a person, isn't stole, okay, he stole. But over here, the way he stole was trying to show you that he was truthful. And really, he wasn't truthful. I mean, a stealer is a stealer. But over here, he's saying, look, you're coming to weigh your product. I'm letting you weigh your product. And guess how many pounds it weighs? It weighs 2 pounds. That's how much it weighs. The way you stole was a different way of stealing. The way you stole, you led me to believe that what you're telling me is the truth, and therefore you switched it on me, it's not the truth. If you stole from me, fine. You stole $10, you stole $20, you stole $100. But over here, the way you stole was conniving. It was such a trickery where I thought you were saying the truth. And meanwhile, when I waited on it, I saw myself 2 pounds. And I found out later that what was a pound and a half, you switched your scale, you stole from me. But the way you stole from me, you led me to believe that this is the right thing. And now you took that already. Hashem says this is already a really, really low level. And therefore we have to shamble the guy. And we have to tell him, this is what you're doing. This is what's happening. And that's why he's called like a judge. Because how much would it be if the judge knew what he was doing was wrong and he judged improperly? What are you doing? So therefore, so to over here, you know it's not true. What are you doing? Why are you even doing that? Yeah, I want to read you what his words are. It's amazing. This is, again, it's just amazing point. He says, if you weigh something, you consider a judge. Right? When you're weighing it. Why? Why you consider a judge? Because people think that you're saying the truth. What connection is a judge have to do with weighing a product? Why are you a judge? Because just like a judge that people think that he's saying the truth, so too over here. People think that he's saying the truth. You're just a judge. And now what you did, you switched it around. It's worse than a gazlan. It's worse than a ganav. Right? And that's exactly why it says in the Parashat, the Rashi quotes that he's worse than a ganav. He's worse because he connived. It's like if you tell a child, did you do it? When you were little, your father told you, did you do A, B, and C? Was it you? So you say, oh no, it was. Let's say for example, we had something. Oh, it wasn't mine. It wasn't me. It was my friend. Let's say for example, an item that you weren't supposed to have. Oh, it's my friend's item. And your father found out that it was really your item. How much worse is it than you just saying, it was my item, I'm sorry, Mechila, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have had whatever it was? How much more so would your father be upset at you? Now that you said, you lied in my face, you said it was like that, it's like when a guy told me, oh yeah, when he was younger, he drove his father's car, and he told his father, I didn't drive it, my friend took it to drive. Because he knew if he told his friend took it to drive, then nothing, you connived me, you told me that your friend took it and it was really you? That's much worse than saying, oh, it was me and I apologize. Correct? Yes or no? Correct? Yes or no? So therefore, if you're stealing, the way you stole was conniving. You led me to believe that it's so truthful, and then you dug it. That's already below levels, and that's why we see that what happened in Parashat Miketz. Do you remember what happened with Yosef and what happened when he was going to be saved? It says over there, Arur hareshaim she'en tovatan shelema. Cursed is the reshaim. Why? Because their goodness is not shalem. Why is their goodness not shalem? Why is their goodness not what happened? So it says over there, we know the Sarah Mashkim. Let's take a look over there. Pasuk Perek Mem Aleph, Pasuk Yud Bet. What does it say over there by the Sarah Mashkim? Right? It says something fantastic. Let me read it to you. Mem Aleph, Yud Bet. Look what it says. Look what it says. It says, Vesham itanu nar ivri. Look what he says. The Sar HaMashkim is telling Paro, get this guy. Who is he? He's a Nar Ivri, Eved, Sar Tabachim. Right? And Rashi says on the thing, Arim Reshaim. Why? Because he told him like a Lashon of Bizayon. Who is this Na'ar? Like he's not even an older, he's a young boy. He's an Ivri, that what? He doesn't understand our language. He's an Eved. So you see in that situation, that even though it's really arud. Why is it arud? Why is it cursed? Because he's saying it in such a matter. Pay back the favor. Pay back the favor. I understand. He saved you. The Sar HaMashkim took you out. Yosef took the Sar HaMashkim out. He got you out of jail. He did everything. So now when he's supposed to get out of jail, the way you speak is disgusting. He's saying, oh, who is that guy? He's just an Ivri. Oh, he doesn't speak our language. He's an Eved. Also, really it should say, the curse is the Reshaim. Why? Because they speak in a language of disgrace. It doesn't say that. It says, cursed is the Reshaim because when they're paying you, they're repaying you back, even though they're doing good to you, they still have the sucker punch. They have that punch where they're not fully giving all their good. And that's why it's saying that they're bad. Not just bad because they're making you disgraceful. They're bad because when they're paying you back, even though they're helping you, but they're really inside their brains, they're really hitting you hard and telling you, a little bit of disgracefulness. And that's why he says, the ikar ta'ana al Sar HaMashkim, the main point of the Sar HaMashkim, why are we cursing the Sar HaMashkim on this situation? Shemikevan shebal askit Yosef. You're speaking in front of Paro about Yosef. Now you're doing good for Yosef. What do? You add in the nonsense. Oh, he's only in Ivri. Oh, he's in Eved. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you going under the belt? Like, what are you doing? You couldn't do it from your full heart. You had to go underneath. He says, you can't even do one good thing that somebody paid you back. You can't even do it good. That means we see your essence is a rasha. A guy did you a favor. A guy helped you out. A guy did everything for you, and now when it's time to pay back, and you're paying him back, but the way you do it is such a disgusting matter, it shows who you are. That's what we're saying. That's the curse of the Rasha. Because you're cursed, you know why? Pay back your full. This is already you cursed. And therefore, Rabotai, this is a great lesson that we're learning here tonight, that a ganav and a person that weighs improperly is worse if he ain't improperly. Why? Because he sketched you. He put you under the belt. He messed around and he manipulated the situation. He wasn't a man. Not only wasn't a man, you thought that he was truthful, but really he was going under. That's the